In this video, I'm going to be philosophizing on how we can cultivate positive, meaningful emotion from reciprocal, dynamical, relational processes of direct perception. As we're engaging the interconnectedness, mind-body is connected through the self. Self conducts specific perception, action, and behavior with regards to not linear thinking that is increasing meaningfully the dysfunctions in association with stagnation, deterioration, and degeneration of healthy psychological functioning, in contrast to non-linear thinking that allowances for cognitive flexibility to associate meaning within prior existing inputs from sensors that are sending meaningful information within sets of meaningful information to information processes of preceptors that are creating the prepared meaning interpretations that are processed within the dynamical structuring mind, in which we're often engaging mind wandering, and that the direct and indirect precepts of self allowance for the development of perspective in association with our direct perception, and to also cultivate meaning within our meaning in affect that we're developing into positive, meaningful emotions that we can engage the voluntary outputs of through various expressions of our positive, meaningful emotion and intrinsic motivations associated with the centralities of meaning that are being processed, internalized within our innermost worlds. Our introspection, in which are often more recognized and realized only by the self and not so much by other individuals. And so when we're thinking about the reciprocal, dynamical, relational processes that cultivate positive, meaningful emotion, it's important to think that this is about the self and it's not about another self, as we're engaging processes within individuals and not some sort of sociological phenomena, some sort of something that's in the air that's causing these positive, meaningful emotions. They're internalized processes, and we're discussing psychological processes. So we're interested in the individual's mind and body, and most meaningfully the self, when we're trying to understand reciprocal, dynamical, relational properties that are convergent, and so that there are specific sets of meaningful information that allowance for the development of positive emotion from existing priors of meaning and affect that are meaningfully similar, and develop the interconnectedness within the self and intrinsic dynamical structuring mind processes. Intrinsic self connects from the specific voluntary intrinsic levagencia processes of perception, action, and or behavior that allowance for the cultivation of positive, meaningful emotion and the centralities of meaning that develop the meaningfulness processes, developmental, acepçãodes, develop the expanders of mind, body, and self into the potentials, probabilistic, not just current, but current to future-oriented meaningfulness can be experienced within the experiential encounters of our being that are individualized in association with the calibrations of accurate and correct objective, functional, and meaningful properties in association with our own direct perception, and that are more individualized with regards to the otherwise positive, meaningful emotion that somebody might not necessarily connect in a calibratory concern to its intrinsic meaning. And the better that we're able to engage the calibrations of reciprocal, dynamical, relational perception, action, and behavior with our perception, action, and or behavior, we can meaningfully increase healthy psychological functioning in the cultivation of developmental acepçãodades. And that's all I want to say for this video. Hope you have an awesome one. Keep developing this acepçãodades.